The edge of the Galtran space cluster was quiet, almost too quiet. Patrol ships moved in precise patterns, their lights flickering like distant stars. No one had expected anything unusual that day. Then a blip appeared on the scanners. At first, the alien crews thought it was a small cargo vessel, perhaps one lost or drifting alone. But the blip moved with purpose, cutting through the emptiness like it owned the space around it. Captain Nilo stood on the bridge of the human ship, the Endurance, watching the alien radar waves dance across the screen. The ship was small compared to the massive Galtran cruisers, but it was strong and fast. Nilo adjusted the controls with calm hands. Every movement was precise, confident, as if the ship were part of him. The alien fleet noticed the humans immediately. Thousands of lights blinked on their sensors, marking the human ship as it approached. The alien patrols had never seen a vessel so alone enter their territory. Whispers traveled across their communications, questioning why only one ship would dare. Admiral Tharuk, commanding the nearest Galtran cruiser, leaned over the holographic display. It cannot be just one ship. The humans are clever, but no single vessel can challenge even a fraction of our fleet. His voice carried authority, but there was a hint of unease. Nilo's voice came through the human ship's communication channels. It was calm, steady, without fear. I am Captain Nilo of the human ship Endurance. I come in peace. We seek no conflict. We only wish to explore and understand your cluster. The alien envoys looked at one another in confusion. Peace. From humans. They had heard stories of human courage, of daring raids and strange victories, but they expected more ships, more weapons, more numbers. One ship seemed insignificant. Tharuk ordered his fleet to form a perimeter around the human vessel. The cruiser's engines glowed brightly as they moved into position, surrounding the Endurance with what they thought was undeniable power. The human ship slowed, almost as if it were waiting politely for the aliens to decide its fate. Inside the Endurance, Nilo studied the holographic map of the cluster. Every move the aliens made was predictable. They relied on routine, on repetition. Humans were different. They could think in ways no alien fleet could anticipate. Nilo smiled slightly. It was not arrogance. It was confidence earned through experience and ingenuity. The first contact team prepared for boarding. Nilo chose simple uniforms for his crew, not flashy or threatening. Their calmness would speak louder than any weapon. Remember, he said quietly, we are alone, but we are not weak. Trust in what we have learned. Trust in each other. As the alien ships closed in, the first envoys materialized on the Endurance. They were tall, with long limbs and segmented eyes that reflected the lights of the ship. Their voices were sharp, like metal scraping on metal. They expected fear or confusion. Instead, they found humans waiting, eyes steady and hands relaxed. Nilo stepped forward, hands visible, showing no weapon. Welcome, he said. We mean no harm. Please, let us share information. Perhaps we can understand each other better. The lead envoy tilted his head. Humans did not behave like other species. They were unpredictable in ways the aliens could not immediately grasp. His mind raced, trying to detect weakness or trickery. There was none. Every human movement was measured, deliberate, and calm. One of the envoys asked, "Why do you come alone? One ship cannot survive against the cluster's fleets. You must have allies hidden somewhere." Nilo shook his head. We travel as one when necessary. We believe in quality over quantity. Our strength is not only in our numbers. We rely on intelligence, adaptability, and courage. You will see what a single human ship can do. The alien envoy paused, processing the words. Their scanners could not detect any unusual weaponry beyond what was standard. There were no fleets hidden behind the ship. Yet the confidence, the calm, the knowledge in the human's actions radiated a power that could not be measured by technology. Back on the bridge of the Endurance, Nilo gave a soft command. Prepare for observation. Let's show them what humans can do without aggression. The alien patrols tightened their perimeter, unsure of what would happen next. They had expected fear, panic, maybe surrender. Instead, they faced a species willing to stand alone, willing to act with thought, strategy, and calm determination. For a long moment, silence stretched across the space between the humans and aliens. It was a silence filled with tension, curiosity, and the faintest hint of admiration. The galaxy had not yet seen the true capability of humans, but that moment was the beginning. The single human ship, small and seemingly fragile, held the attention of an entire fleet. Nilo looked at his crew. They were ready. They trusted each other. They knew what they could achieve, even alone. In that quiet tension, the first lesson of humanity's presence in the cluster became clear. One human ship was enough to make the galaxy stop and watch. The alien envoys stepped cautiously onto the human ship Endurance. The floor beneath them hummed with quiet energy, the lights above soft but steady. The humans walked calmly around the visitors, their movements confident but not aggressive. Captain Nilo stood at the center of the bridge, observing every reaction from the aliens. The envoy leader, a tall figure with reflective segmented eyes, studied the humans closely. He expected tension, perhaps nervous gestures, maybe even fear. Instead, he found calm determination. He noticed that every human crew member moved with purpose, communicating silently through gestures and glances. There was a sense of teamwork that the aliens did not fully understand. "Your vessel is small," the envoy said. His voice was mechanical yet filled with curiosity. "Yet you move with confidence among our fleets. Why?" Nilo nodded slowly. "Our strength is not in size," he replied. "It is in thinking, in working together, in adapting to situations that seem impossible. We have learned to rely on each other and on our minds. This allows us to survive and achieve what larger forces cannot." The aliens exchanged uncertain looks. They were used to judging strength by size, firepower, and numbers. A single human ship did not fit their model. Yet there was something undeniable about the presence of these humans. One of the human crew, a young officer named Rena, guided the envoys to a viewing platform. From there, the aliens could see the vast emptiness of space around them. The stars shimmered, and the alien fleet formed patterns far beyond the human ship. "We do not fear what is ahead," Rena said. "We study it, plan for it, and act when necessary. Our strength is in learning quickly and acting decisively." The alien leader frowned. "Your words are interesting, but how can one ship face our fleets if conflict arises?" Nilo gestured toward the holographic display in the center of the bridge. It projected the alien fleet in 3 dimensions, moving and adjusting constantly. "We do not rely only on force," he explained. "We rely on understanding patterns, predicting moves, and using strategy. One human ship can achieve what an entire fleet cannot if it acts with intelligence and coordination." The aliens watched closely as Nilo demonstrated on the hologram. He moved small markers around, representing his ship's actions. In moments, he showed paths that avoided attacks, disrupted enemy formations, and gained control of key positions. The envoys could not believe their eyes. The humans predicted actions that no alien commander had anticipated. The envoy leader's segmented eyes narrowed. "This is unusual. Your logic is different. Calculations alone do not explain your choices. You seem to anticipate our thoughts." Rena smiled faintly. "Humans can observe patterns and improvise. We see the world as flexible, not fixed. We adapt as we go. This is why one ship can survive in places others cannot." A low hum came from the hull of the human ship as Nilo moved toward a console. He pressed a few buttons, and the ship's sensors scanned the alien fleet. Data streamed rapidly, far faster than the aliens expected. The human crew worked seamlessly, exchanging information without words. The envoy leader took a step back. He realized that the humans were not just physically capable. Their minds operated in ways the aliens had never considered. Speed, logic, creativity, and teamwork combined to create a force that no single measurement could capture. "You speak of peace," the envoy said finally, "but your actions show preparation for conflict. You are ready for what may come." Nilo nodded. "We prepare for challenges not to fight, but to survive and protect others. Peace is our goal. Strength is our tool. One human ship is enough to teach others why we cannot be ignored, even alone." The aliens began to notice subtle changes in the human ship. The walls shifted slightly to optimize space, consoles adjusted automatically to crew needs, and systems that seemed ordinary revealed efficiency far beyond the alien technology. Every detail suggested intelligence, ingenuity, and care in design. Reno led the envoys to the ship's observation deck again. Outside, the stars and planets stretched endlessly. The humans spoke calmly about their journeys, about learning from mistakes, about planning for unknown dangers. The aliens listened, fascinated by the clarity and confidence of the humans. For the first time, the alien envoys saw humans as more than small creatures with fragile ships. They saw a species that could think quickly, act decisively, and survive in ways that defied the usual measures of power. One ship, led by careful minds, could influence situations far larger than itself. The envoy leader nodded slowly. "Perhaps we underestimated your kind," he said. "Your confidence is not arrogance. It is understanding." Nilo offered a small smile. "Confidence comes from preparation and trust. We trust our knowledge, our crew, and our ability to adapt. You will see that humans can achieve more than size or numbers suggest." The envoys left the observation deck silently, each carrying new respect for the humans. For the first time, the alien fleet saw that one ship could hold more power than expected. One human ship could change the balance of a cluster. One human ship could make the galaxy pause and take notice. Nilo returned to the bridge, glancing at his crew. They had impressed the aliens without firing a single weapon. They had shown strength in calmness, in strategy, in intelligence. The first contact was over, and yet it had already changed the way the galaxy viewed humans. In the quiet that followed, Nilo whispered to himself, "One ship is enough." The Galtran Council was furious. One human ship had entered their cluster and faced their fleet without fear. Their messages were urgent, their orders harsh, but Nilo did not flinch. From the bridge of the Endurance, he observed the alien fleets moving into defensive formations. The humans had come to show peaceful intentions, but the aliens were not convinced. Admiral Thoric's flagship led the formation, a massive vessel with engines glowing bright blue. "We will show them the cost of arrogance," he said to his officers. "One ship cannot challenge us. We will destroy it." Nilo studied the positions carefully. The alien fleet was powerful, but it moved predictably. Each ship followed rigid protocols, unaware of the flexibility humans could apply in battle. He turned to his crew, speaking with calm authority. "They believe size wins. They do not understand strategy and adaptation. We will show them a different way." The human crew prepared for observation exercises. Sensors were activated, energy shields were checked, and navigation systems were calibrated. Every movement was precise, every action deliberate. Unlike the aliens, humans did not rely solely on brute force. They used intelligence, improvisation, and teamwork to gain advantage. The aliens moved first. They tested the human ship, sending small squads to surround it. Their weapons glowed with energy, scanning for weaknesses. But Nilo anticipated their approach. He maneuvered the Endurance in ways the aliens did not expect, slipping between formations with ease. From the alien perspective, it was baffling. One ship, small and alone, moved with confidence through a fleet meant to dominate. The envoys who had boarded earlier watched the displays in disbelief. Every prediction they had made failed to match the humans' actions. "Captain," said Rena, her voice steady, "they are closing in on our port side. They intend to block us." Nilo nodded. "Prepare a diversion. Use the sensor grid to create false readings. They will react to what they see, not what is real." The crew activated the ship's advanced systems. Energy fields created decoy signals, making it appear as if multiple ships surrounded the aliens. The Galtran forces adjusted their positions, trying to anticipate movements that did not exist. Nilo took advantage of every hesitation. With precise timing, the Endurance slipped through the center of the alien formation, reaching a strategic point near a dense asteroid field. The aliens had underestimated the human ability to adapt quickly. Their rigid formation slowed them down, while the humans flowed like water through gaps. Admiral Thoric's frustration grew. "How can one ship move so freely among our forces? Our calculations are perfect, yet it avoids us at every turn." Nilo remained calm. "Speed and agility are important, but understanding the opponent is stronger. We do not just react. We observe, predict, and act where they least expect it." Rena guided the ship closer to the asteroid field, where rocks floated like obstacles in space. "We can use the field to our advantage. They cannot maneuver here easily." Nilo smiled faintly. "Good. Let them underestimate the terrain. It will give us control." As the Endurance moved through the asteroid field, the human sensors tracked every alien ship. Every possible move was calculated, but Nilo allowed flexibility. The crew responded instantly to any change, shifting energy to shields, adjusting thrusters, and maintaining perfect coordination. The aliens attempted to fire at the human ship, but their attacks were slowed by hesitation and poor angles. Every shot was avoided with careful maneuvers. The humans' understanding of space and movement allowed them to outmaneuver a fleet far larger than themselves. From the alien perspective, it was almost impossible to believe. One ship alone had avoided multiple attacks, moved through dangerous terrain, and disrupted their formations. The envoys who had witnessed humans earlier now understood why they had been underestimated. Humans did not rely on force alone. They relied on intelligence, courage, and teamwork. "Captain, they are regrouping for another attempt," Rena reported. Nilo's eyes narrowed. "Let them come. We are ready. One human ship can create opportunities others cannot. Watch and learn." As the alien ships moved forward again, the Endurance used the terrain, their decoys, and precise movements to control the engagement. The humans demonstrated that a small, intelligent force could dominate a larger, predictable fleet. Every maneuver was calculated, yet flexible, showing a mixture of strategy and instinct. The first challenge was over. The aliens had not been destroyed, but they had been shown that humans could fight without fear, without overwhelming numbers, and without losing control. One ship, led by capable minds and a skilled crew, had proven its value. For the first time, the Galtran fleet realized that humans were not ordinary. One ship could outthink and outmaneuver them, forcing the Council to reconsider the meaning of strength. The Endurance sailed through space, calm and prepared, leaving the aliens to ponder what they had witnessed. Nilo looked at his crew, pride and trust in his eyes. "We faced them without firing a weapon. That is strength. Remember this. One ship is enough when we use our minds, our skill, and our courage together." The humans had survived the first challenge, and the galaxy was beginning to take notice. The Galtran fleet had retreated slightly, regrouping after the humans' unexpected maneuvers. For the first time, Admiral Thoric questioned his fleet's confidence. One small ship had danced through their formations, avoided attacks, and demonstrated control they could not predict. The Council had demanded force, yet force alone had not worked. Captain Nilo remained calm on the bridge of the Endurance. He studied the alien fleet carefully, noticing the small weaknesses they left when they adjusted positions. Even massive fleets could make mistakes when they relied on routine. Nilo turned to his crew. They think their numbers protect them. They are wrong. We will show them why one human ship is enough. Rena smiled faintly. They are regrouping, but their movements are predictable now. We can anticipate their next steps. Nilo nodded. Good. Prepare the sensors for a coordinated operation. We will test their reactions. The humans began a subtle demonstration of their capabilities. They sent small energy pulses into the cluster, not to harm, but to observe. The pulses triggered defensive responses from the alien ships. Every response was recorded, analyzed, and used to adjust human strategy. The aliens believed they were controlling the engagement. In truth, the humans were guiding it. Admiral Therick frowned. They are manipulating us without even attacking. How is this possible? Nilo's voice was calm over the internal communication system. They move with confidence but rely on rigid patterns. We exploit predictability. Observation and timing are as strong as any weapon. The Endurance began moving in carefully planned arcs, weaving between asteroids and energy fields. The humans shifted shields and sensors, creating an illusion of multiple ships. The aliens reacted instantly, attempting to block phantom targets that did not exist. Each adjustment they made was anticipated by Nilo, giving the humans complete control over the space around them. From the observation deck, the alien envoys watched in awe. The humans did not fire a single weapon, yet the entire fleet seemed confused and off balance. Their intelligence is unlike anything we have seen, one envoy whispered. One ship is enough to influence a fleet of thousands. Rena adjusted the ship's trajectory to guide the Endurance through the center of the alien formation again. They are trying to regroup. They do not realize how predictable they have become. Nilo nodded. We will use that predictability to our advantage. Calm, precise, and coordinated. This is what humans excel at. The humans executed a series of complex maneuvers. They used asteroids, gravity wells, and the fleet's own patterns to create openings. The alien ships, expecting straightforward movement, could not adapt fast enough. Every hesitation, every misstep, widened the humans' advantage. Captain, the fleet is adjusting their strategy, Rena reported. They are trying to predict our next move, but they are overcomplicating it. Nilo's eyes narrowed. Exactly. Complexity slows them down. Keep observing and reacting. Do not force the pace. Let them make mistakes, and we will take the position we need. The humans demonstrated a skill the aliens could not understand fully. One small ship, moving calmly, could disrupt a massive fleet without direct confrontation. It was not force alone that gave them power. It was intelligence, observation, teamwork, and adaptability. The aliens had begun to see humans in a new light. Their technology was impressive, their numbers overwhelming, yet none of it mattered if their opponents were faster in thought and decision. One ship could teach them lessons that thousands of vessels could not. Admiral Therick's frustration grew. They are too clever. One ship cannot be this effective without help. There must be others hiding nearby. Nilo's crew shared quiet smiles. There is only us, he said softly. We rely on what we know, what we see, and what we can do together. That is enough. The humans continued their careful maneuvers, testing alien reactions, shifting position, and remaining calm under pressure. The aliens fired probes, trying to predict movement, but each attempt was anticipated. The Endurance moved as if it had eyes everywhere, yet the crew only relied on teamwork and intelligence. By the end of the engagement, the aliens had begun to understand something new. The humans' power did not come from size, numbers, or weaponry. It came from the mind, coordination, and courage. One ship, led by capable humans, could influence events that should have required entire fleets. On the bridge of the Endurance, Nilo looked at his crew with pride. This is more than tactics. This is proof. One ship is enough when we think, adapt, and act together. Remember this moment. The Galtran fleet withdrew slightly, unsure of how to respond next. For the first time, they were no longer confident that sheer numbers could overcome a human ship. Stories of humans' intelligence, courage, and coordination would soon spread across the cluster. The galaxy would begin to understand the meaning of human strength. Nilo watched the stars ahead. One ship had changed the perception of an entire fleet. One human ship had created surprise and respect without firing a weapon. The lesson was clear. One human ship could be enough to shape the galaxy. The Galtran fleet held back, watching the Endurance move through the cluster. The humans had shown skill and intelligence, but now it was time to see another strength: resourcefulness. Captain Nilo knew that to gain the aliens' respect, they needed to demonstrate more than strategy in movement. They had to show they could solve problems under pressure, with creativity and calm. "Captain, sensors detect a nearby asteroid drifting toward our path," Rena reported. "It could block our exit if we do not act." Nilo studied the holographic map. The asteroid was large, unpredictable, and fast-moving. Other ships might panic, trying to avoid it or destroy it recklessly. But humans had a different approach. "We will guide it instead of fighting it," Nilo said. "Use the tractor beams and sensors. Calculate its path, and adjust as needed. Treat it like a tool, not a threat." The crew worked together seamlessly. Sensors scanned the asteroid's surface, tractor beams adjusted in real time, and the ship shifted to maintain perfect balance. Within moments, the humans had redirected the massive rock safely, creating a protective barrier between the Endurance and the alien fleet. The aliens watched in awe. "They are clever," one envoy whispered. "Not only do they avoid danger, they turn it to advantage." Nilo turned to his crew. "This is what humans do. We do not panic. We find solutions, even in impossible situations. Intelligence and teamwork can achieve what strength alone cannot." The aliens had expected humans to fight with weapons, but the humans demonstrated that power could come from thinking. The fleet had overestimated size and firepower and underestimated creativity. The Endurance moved gracefully, not aggressively, yet its presence controlled the situation. Admiral Therick spoke over the communication channels. "Humans, you have proven skill. Yet we still wonder why one ship alone can be so effective. Explain your philosophy." Nilo stepped forward. "We prepare, we observe, we work together, and we adapt. We do not depend on numbers or rigid technology. We depend on our minds, our crew, and our ability to act together. One human ship is enough when it uses these qualities." The aliens listened carefully. This was a species that thought differently, acted differently, and achieved results differently. Their pride in numbers and machinery had blinded them to the human's potential. Rena guided the ship closer to a cluster of energy fields. Sensors indicated high radiation zones that could disable systems. Other species might avoid it entirely, but humans could navigate carefully and adjust shields and energy distribution. "Captain, the path is narrow, but possible," she said. Nilo nodded. "We will take it. Use sensors, shields, and adjust speed. Focus on precision." The Endurance moved through the dangerous field, calmly adjusting shields, balancing energy, and maintaining speed. Each human crew member coordinated with another, responding instantly to any change. The aliens watched as the ship moved safely, showing perfect harmony between mind, machine, and crew. The envoy leader's segmented eyes widened. They do not just survive. They control every situation, every tool, every challenge. Nilo addressed the alien envoys. "Respect is earned, not demanded. We show respect for others by acting with calm and intelligence. That is how humans operate. Strength is not only in force. Strength is in thought, adaptation, and courage. The aliens began to nod. They were learning that humans did not rely on overwhelming power. Humans relied on creativity, intelligence, and skill, which could surpass even the largest fleets when used wisely. Admiral Thurick spoke again. Your ship has shown remarkable resourcefulness. Perhaps there is more to humans than we expected. We underestimated your kind. Nilo inclined his head. We do not seek to dominate. We seek to survive, to explore, and to understand. Our abilities are meant to solve problems, protect ourselves, and demonstrate what a single ship and crew can achieve together. The alien envoys recorded every detail, every maneuver, every choice the humans had made. The Galtran fleet had never seen a species handle challenges with such calm, precision, and teamwork. One ship, guided by capable minds and careful coordination, had achieved what they assumed was impossible. Rena glanced at the captain. They are beginning to respect us, Captain. They understand why one human ship can matter. Nilo smiled softly. Respect is more valuable than victory. When others see what we can do, they adjust their thinking. One ship can teach a lesson that fleets cannot. The humans continued through the cluster, turning obstacles into advantages, demonstrating skill, intelligence, and courage at every step. The Galtran fleet followed at a distance, studying, learning, and slowly gaining respect for the small human vessel that moved like it had the knowledge of an entire fleet. By the time the Endurance reached open space beyond the energy fields, the aliens had changed their perception completely. One human ship was no longer a curiosity or a challenge to dismiss. It was a force to respect, a demonstration that intelligence, teamwork, and courage could surpass size and numbers. Nilo looked at his crew with pride. We have shown them what humans can do. One ship is enough when we act together. Remember this for every challenge ahead. The Galtran fleet watched silently as the humans sailed onward. The lesson was clear. The galaxy was beginning to understand the true meaning of human strength. One ship could earn respect, survive danger, and inspire awe without firing a single weapon. The Endurance floated through the edge of the Galtran cluster, its engines humming quietly. The aliens had slowed their pursuit, giving space for reflection. Captain Nilo stood on the bridge, looking at the holographic map of the fleet. They had seen humans survive, outmaneuver, and control situations without firing a single weapon. Now it was time to explain the philosophy that gave humans such power. Rena approached. Captain, the envoys want to speak. They are curious about your methods. Nilo nodded. Send them to the conference room. It is time to share what humans believe. The alien envoys entered cautiously. Their segmented eyes observed the room, their limbs moving with restrained curiosity. They expected a lecture about technology or numbers. Instead, Nilo began calmly, speaking of thought, courage, and cooperation. Aliens often measure strength by size, numbers, or firepower, Nilo said. Humans measure strength differently. We value intelligence, adaptability, and teamwork. We plan, we learn, and we act together. That is why one ship can survive and succeed where many might fail. The aliens listened, trying to process the meaning. Their entire culture emphasized fleets, armies, and raw power. A single human ship had challenged those beliefs. They had witnessed humans turn obstacles into advantages and influence an entire formation without aggression. Rena added, we do not seek to destroy. We seek solutions. We do not rely on fear or overwhelming force. We rely on understanding, prediction, and coordinated action. That is the human way. The lead envoy spoke slowly. You speak of mind over numbers. Yet one ship cannot be enough unless the crew is exceptional. How do humans achieve such cohesion? Nilo smiled slightly. Through trust and training. Every crew member understands the other's abilities. We communicate constantly, adapt quickly, and respect each other's decisions. Intelligence is multiplied when combined with teamwork. One ship becomes greater than the sum of its parts. The aliens had never heard such an approach. Their fleets depended on rigid command and uniformity. Humans depended on flexibility, trust, and creativity. Every action the Endurance had taken was proof of that philosophy. One envoy asked, "Do humans never fear? How do you remain calm in such situations?" Rena replied, "We respect danger, but we do not let it control us. Fear is natural, but it can be managed. Planning, training, and cooperation allow us to face challenges without panic. That is why a single human ship can stand against larger forces." Admiral Thurrock, observing from his flagship, could not hide his growing respect. They are more than clever. They are disciplined, fearless, and coordinated. One ship has demonstrated power far beyond what we expected. Perhaps we judged them too soon. Nilo nodded. The galaxy will learn. Humans do not measure strength by numbers alone. We adapt, we think, and we work together. One ship can teach lessons that many fleets cannot. That is why you saw what you did today. The aliens began to understand the lesson fully. Humans were not just physically capable, they had a philosophy that made them formidable. Every obstacle, every fleet, every challenge could be met with intelligence and courage. One human ship was enough to change perceptions, to inspire caution and respect. Rena gestured toward the viewing platform. Outside, the alien fleet moved slowly, watching the humans. "They are reconsidering everything," she said quietly. "Yes," Nilo replied. "They are realizing that power is not always what it seems. One human ship can influence the galaxy not through fear, but through thought, skill, and teamwork. That is the revelation we share." The lead envoy bowed slightly. "We underestimated your kind. The human strength is not in weapons or numbers, but in mind, courage, and coordination. One ship can indeed be enough." Nilo's eyes softened. "It is not enough to survive alone. It is enough to inspire understanding and change. That is the lesson humans bring to the galaxy. We hope that others will see that intelligence, adaptability, and cooperation can create power beyond expectation." The aliens took their leave with new respect. They had learned that humans could not be judged by size, firepower, or fleet numbers. Humans could achieve more because of their philosophy, their unity, and their courage. One ship had shown them the meaning of true strength. On the bridge, Nilo looked at his crew. "We have done more than survive. We have shown the galaxy why one human ship is enough. Remember this. One ship with knowledge, trust, and courage can change perception and inspire respect." The Endurance sailed onward through the stars. Its engines glowed steadily, carrying humans who were small in number but vast in intelligence, adaptability, and courage. The galaxy had witnessed the revelation. One human ship was more than enough. The Endurance moved steadily through the open space beyond the Galtran cluster. Captain Nilo stood on the bridge, looking at the stars stretching endlessly before them. Behind them, the alien fleet had slowed its pursuit and now observed from a distance. The humans had survived, outmaneuvered, and impressed an entire civilization without firing a single weapon. Rena glanced at the captain. "They are still watching. They have not left, but they are no longer hostile." Nilo nodded. "They are thinking. They are realizing what they have witnessed. One human ship is enough to change perceptions. One human ship can teach lessons that fleets alone cannot." The Galtran envoys had returned to their flagship to report to the council. They spoke of intelligence, coordination, adaptability, and courage. The council listened, and slowly, respect grew. The humans were no longer seen as a curiosity or a minor threat. They were a species to be understood, admired, and respected. Admiral Thurrock stared at the stars where the human ship had passed. We underestimated them. One ship, alone, has shown more skill and control than many of our fleets. Their strength is beyond technology and numbers. It is in their minds, their teamwork, and their courage. Nilo turned to his crew. This is the true meaning of strength. Not in size or weapons, but in intelligence, adaptation, and unity. Remember this for every challenge ahead. One ship, one crew, one determined mind can change what others believe impossible. Rena smiled. It is more than survival, Captain. We have earned respect, and they will remember it. The humans had faced challenges, dangers, and skepticism, yet they had never wavered. They had navigated asteroid fields, disrupted alien formations, and demonstrated problem-solving under pressure. Each action was precise, calculated, and filled with confidence. The aliens had learned not to judge by appearance, size, or numbers. The Endurance passed near a cluster of small planets, their surfaces glowing faintly with life. Nilo reflected on humanity's journey. One ship, carrying humans alone, had left a mark on an entire cluster of civilizations. The galaxy was beginning to understand the meaning of human ingenuity. The alien envoys, returning for one last observation, watched silently. They had recorded every movement, every decision, every tactic the humans used. They had expected fear or recklessness. Instead, they found intelligence, courage, and harmony. The humans had proven that a single ship, guided by capable minds and careful planning, could influence an entire fleet. Captain, Rena said softly, they are speaking among themselves. I think they are sharing stories of us across the cluster. Nilo smiled. Good. That is the human way. Actions speak louder than words. One ship can inspire thought, respect, and change across an entire civilization. That is why one human ship is enough. The Endurance continued on its journey, leaving the Galtran cluster behind. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of possibilities. Every planet, every fleet, every civilization it passed would hear the story of the small human ship that moved with courage, intelligence, and calm determination. Admiral Thoric's fleet had learned an important lesson. Strength was not measured only in numbers or firepower. Intelligence, adaptability, and teamwork could surpass expectation and change outcomes. Humans had demonstrated this truth clearly. The humans aboard the Endurance celebrated quietly. They had faced challenge after challenge, yet they had emerged respected, not feared. They had shown the galaxy that survival, strategy, and ingenuity were stronger than raw force. One ship, with the right minds and courage, could achieve greatness. Rena looked out at the stars. Captain, do you think the galaxy truly understands now? Nilo nodded. They are beginning to. Understanding takes time, but one ship has started the lesson. Humans do not need fleets to impress. We need knowledge, skill, and courage. That is enough to be heard and remembered. As the Endurance disappeared into the vastness of space, the Galtran fleet remained behind, changed forever. Their reports, their observations, and their conversations would spread across the cluster. The story of a single human ship would inspire thought, caution, and respect for generations. One ship had traveled alone, yet it had influenced countless minds. One human ship had shown that intelligence, teamwork, and courage could overcome expectation and inspire respect. The galaxy would never forget the lesson. One ship was enough. Captain Nilo stood quietly, watching the stars. He felt pride, not in conquest, but in what humans could achieve when they trusted themselves and each other. The Endurance moved forward, a small vessel carrying a vast lesson. The galaxy had witnessed the power of one human ship, and it would remember that lesson for a long time. The stars ahead shone brightly, endless and full of opportunity. Humans had shown that courage, intelligence, and teamwork were stronger than fear or size. One human ship had proven it, and the galaxy had learned why that was enough.